Hi, welcome to Larry Shaves. Today we're going to be shaving with the MERKUR 34C HD safety razor. And this was one of my first razors that I bought online. Got it from Shave Nation. And I love this. This is great for beginners. It's also great for those who have been experienced and been traditional wet shaving for quite some time. From the webpage of Shave Nation, which is a great place in which to get shave supplies, let me say that. The MERKUR 34C Heavy Duty HD two-piece safety razor with closed comb bar is one of the most popular safety razors. We call this razor the workhorse of the shaving industry, and that with reason. Substantial razor with thick handle, which is why it's called heavy duty. The non-slip etched crosshatch handle provides excellent grip and balance. Handcrafted classic chrome finish and rugged design will offer you years of superior shaves. About MERKUR, for over a century, some of the finest razors and razor blades in the world have been made in Solingen, Germany by MERKUR. So it's a classic razor, and we're going to be using that today. The 34 also comes, the MERKUR 34 also comes in gold, and it's called the 34G. And so you might want to consider that. There's also one out right now that is 34C, but it is in satin chrome. It is one that has a satin finish to it. It is closed comb. And so the difference between the 34C and the 34C that is satin finished, main difference, in addition to the difference of the chrome, is that there's no blade overhang on the satin one. There is blade overhang on the 34C and the 34G. The only drawback that I've heard people talk about with the 34C is the shortness. The length is 3.25 inches, weight 2.7 ounces. They do offer, I believe this is the MERKUR 23C. It has a longer handle, thinner handle, but the cap is identical. The 34C is a two-piece razor. You unscrew it at the bottom, and the cap lifts off like that. The 23C, however, is a three-piece razor, similar to other traditional razors. So our soap today that we're going to be using in our shave is from Stirling, and it is British leather. British leather. I love this. It is a great smelling soap, and that's what it looks like. British leather. We're also going to be using the aftershave splash, British leather. And then in addition to that, we have the post-shave balm. We'll be using that today as well. So we're going to get started. First thing we're going to do is load the blade. So we unscrew the cap. It comes off like this. And then we're going to be using an Astra blade today. So what we do is load the cap. And it has the two prongs there, just like that. And then we're going to put the base on and tighten it up thusly. Now you want to be careful because you're grabbing that bare hangover, so be careful what you do. You don't want to get cut. And you're ready to go. Check for the alignment, and it's lined up, ready to go. So we'll be placing that on our shave today. And we're going to take a scoop of British leather. We're using a little scooper from the razor company. This is an excellent scoop. We're going to take some out of the jar, out of the tub rather, about that much, and place it in our bowl, just like that. And we're going to push it down. That helps in the agitation to build up the lather when you push it down like that. I've already run some water in the sink, so we're ready to start our lather today. We're using the Timeless adjustable razor with a 26-inch knot, and we're going to dip it in the water and wring out the water as much as we can there, and we're going to start our agitation, just like that. The description of the 34C is, it is a two-piece assembly. As we said, the screw-together construction allows quick, secure blade changes with fewer moving parts to clean and zero mechanical play. A universal compatibility accepts all standard double-edged blades, giving you freedom to experience and experiment with ones best suited for your beard type. There's not one best razor blade. It all depends on what is best for your skin. Now, what I had to do there was just dip the tip of the brush in the water. You may need just a little more water. It's always best to have less water to begin with, because if you need more, you can always add, but it's tough to add more soap when you got this going. I've tried that. That didn't always work out real well. The balance of the 34C, the weight distribution toward the head, promotes an even cut, reducing the number of passes. And again, it is made in Germany. So we've got our lather pretty well going for us. Not too bad of a lather, and so we're ready to start our shave. We're going to begin our shave today by applying a little water to our face. I use a spray bottle like this. These are available online, and sometimes you can get these also at beauty shops. A lot of the women use these to wet their hair as they're getting ready and so forth. But I use it to wet the face for the shave. So we worked up our lather, and we're going to begin lathering the face. Boy, this really smells good. I love British leather. You say, well, that sounds familiar. Well, what it is, they have captured the scent pretty well of the old aftershave English leather. And maybe as you were younger, and you may still use that, I don't know. But as I was young, when I was a teenager, that was a big item. We would shave, of course, back in those days, it was with an electric razor, but we always wanted to smell good. And, well, at least some of us did. Some didn't care. But we'd go down to the drugstore and we would buy English leather aftershave. And it was great. And they had captured that scent over at Stirling. Now, Stirling, as we've mentioned before when we've used Stirling soap on our videos, 5.8 ounces per container. A lot of companies use 4 ounces. These are 5.8. So you get a great supply of shave soap. All right, we've lathered the face. Clean the lips and the sideburns, because you want to start the sideburns at the right place. Get a little soap off the shirt, best we can, and then we're going to start our shave. Again, with the 34C. And this is a mild razor. Now, if you're just coming from cartridge razors, the main difference is with cartridge razors, you have a tendency of pushing down in your face to get that angle just right. But with double-edged safety razors, you do not want to do that. What that does is causes a lot of agitation and irritation on your face, and that's not a good thing. But I have found that I get a much better shave with double-edged safety razors, because you're not pressing down and you're cutting the hair at the skin line as opposed to below the skin line. When you shave rather below the skin line, as cartridge razors have a tendency to do because of how you use it. That causes ingrown hairs. And ingrown hairs create kind of like a pimple thing going on your face, but it takes a lot longer for that to heal up. You got to get the hair out of there, and that's always a challenge. But since I went with double-edged safety razors, I've not had that problem. Now, occasionally I'll get one, but nothing like I did with cartridge razors. Now, if you're a traditional wet shaver, this is designed not only for beginners, but for those who just want a good shave and get a nice fresh shave that is not irritating. If you've got a problem getting irritation in your shave, this would be a good one to try out. Now, some places online, I've checked on the day that this was being recorded, and this is indeed a popular razor, because some of the places I checked, they're sold out. Some places, though, they do have them in stock. So I would suggest that you look online. A couple of places I would check would be Shave Nation. That's where I bought mine several years ago. And I know they carry MERKUR 34s. I'd also check on the Razor Company. They have a great supply of razors and razor blade brushes. But check with them. You just go to Google search, type in the Razor Company, and it will come up in the search. Or you can also check with Razor Emporium. They also have a great web page and a great supply of razing equipment. Now, this is the first pass. Last week, me and my wife went to Georgia and spent Thanksgiving there with the family. I got daughters that live there. I got grandchildren that live there. I even got great-grandchildren, if you believe that or not. And it was so good to get there and visit with them. We spent a few days there. That's the end of the first pass. We're going to re-wet the face, and then we're going to re-lather. Still have plenty of lather. But we visited with the family back there, and that was really, really good. We hadn't seen those family members, the grandchildren, some of the children, for a year. We went back last Thanksgiving and got to see everybody, and we want to do that again this year. Of course, we didn't stop in and surprise them. They invited us, so you don't want to invite yourself anywhere, even if it's your family. You don't want to call up and say, hey, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? We thought we'd come over. You know, that's not good. If you want to see them and they haven't invited you, then invite them. So, but we went, had a great time, and it was so good get to visit the family. So what did you do for Thanksgiving this year? Did you stay at home and fix a turkey and have friends and family over to your house? Or did you go visit family? Maybe Maybe some of you went to a restaurant and got a good meal. There, if you have no family in the area and you don't feel like cooking, that might have been a great option for you to do. So in the comment section below, let me know what you did for Thanksgiving this year. Kind of a day did you have? Did you have a day of football and feasting, or spend some time being thankful for what you do have? Where did you go? What did you do? Did you have family members over? Did you go visit family members? I'd be interested to know what you folks were doing for Thanksgiving. We spent our Thanksgiving visiting the family there in Georgia, in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and had a great time. We didn't spend so much watching football, but we spent a lot of time eating. You know, that was, and we were very thankful. We thought about the things that we have been blessed with over the years, how God's been good to us, but it was good to play with the children too. You know, if the children and grandchildren lived close to you, it would be a much more fun situation, because you get to see them. Nice thing about grandchildren that live in the area is that when they come over, you can get them all hyped up on chocolate and ice cream and get them all excited and going, and then you send them home. Isn't that fun? But when they're out of town and you go visit them, then they get all hyped up on chocolate and ice cream, and they stay there with you for the time you're there. But, you know. I didn't do a video last week. I didn't do a shave video last week because children being there, and you've got a room full of kids. And how many of you realize that's not a quiet time, you know? It was noisy. Noisy with kids is always a good thing. But it doesn't lend itself too well to making videos. Alrighty, that's pass number 2. I'm going to wet the cheeks just a little bit, and we're going to run over those south to north, just to make sure we got everything on the cheeks. Just like that. And you can probably hear a little bit of hair being removed. I love this 34C. Occasionally I'll bring out the 34G. And that may be one you want to consider, the 34G in gold. And then you can pretend you're Goldfinger or something like that, but it's good. The satin one, we'll have a video one of these days with that one. The matte finish one is another good one. I enjoy shaving with that. It's great to have razors that you can choose from. Get a little variety in your shaving life. Well, that's finished, so I'm going to rinse my face with warm water. Then we'll run a little cold water. Rinse it off with cold water a little bit. And then we're going to use the Shave Nation alum block. Wet that a little bit, and then run over the face some. Got a little soap in the hair. That's never good to go out in public with soap in your hair, but you know. You want to check that out before you go outside. Run over the face a little bit. And I like, there's a lot of good alum blocks, but I like this one because it's got a good grip to it. It's got kind of a rubbery plastic type container, and it's wide, so you know it's really good to get your hands on and get your face on. So then rinse it off, and then I want to dry it off with the towel. Then I'm going to leave it out for a few minutes for it to dry before I put the lid back on it. So after about 30 seconds of the alum block on your face, then what I do is I rinse it off with cold water. And then I want to dry the face. And don't rub your face, but pat it dry. Just like that. Get soap off the shirt the best you can. Check your ears, because sometimes you get soap in your ears and you forget to rinse it off, and that's not a good, that's not an attractive appearance, is what I'm trying to say. All right, we're done with that. Now, time for our aftershave. Now, Stirling has made videos as well describing their products, and they mentioned that when you have an aftershave and you have a balm, they recommend putting the aftershave on first. That kind of closes up the pores, and so we're going to do that today. Put a little in the hand, rub it together, lightly apply it to the face, rinse off your hands some, and then we're ready to let that dry just for a few moments. Put the cap back on don't forget to put the cap on. We don't want it all to evaporate on us. And then we're going to use the British Leather Balm. Now this is kind of a cream, and so you want to put on just a little bit. About that much. My hand was still wet, so it didn't come out just right on my hand. But then work it together in your hands, and then again apply that to your face. Kind of work it in. That is really refreshing. If you don't have an aftershave balm that matches your scent, there's some you can buy at the store. And that really helps your face. So, we're done with the shave. Trust you've enjoyed our shave today. We have featured the MERKUR 34C. And it is a great shave. It's a great razor for beginners. It's also a great razor for those who have been shaving for quite some time. Just a real workhorse of the industry. And I love the MERKUR 34C. We've also been featuring from Stirling Soap, British Leather. Great scent, reminder of English leather. And if you loved English leather, you will love this from Stirling, British Leather. Well, I trust you have a great week ahead. We thank you for coming and joining us today for our shave. Please subscribe to the channel. That will allow you to be notified when we upload a new video. And then share and like, and we'll be looking forward to another shave in the very near future. Thank you for joining us today, and until we get together again here in the Shave Den, happy shaving.